Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the free Flareon Evolution deck that is being given to everyone with the launch of Prismatic Evolutions. This is quite a strong deck in terms of not just beginners, but also just in general. It's a very strong deck. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the deck list, how it kind of functions, and then we're going to be taking a look at some upgrades that you can buy pretty cheaply to make it even more powerful. For the deck list on the base version, we have a couple copies of Eevee EX. We've got a Jolteon for one of our attackers. They give us a Fez, which is really generous. We've got 3 copies of Flareon. That's going to be the main swinger for us. And then we also have 1 copy of Vaporeon. Couldn't find them there. For our draw support, we have actually a pretty impressive line of Hoothoot and Noctowls. Noctowls gives us this Jewel Seeker ability, which we'll cover in the gameplay section. We also have a Victini, which will allow our Flareons to do 10 more damage. I could see this being one of the first cards that I cut when I'm upgrading into a stronger version of the deck. For our supporters, we've got some pretty standard stuff, although they threw in a Mela. This is also another card I'll be looking to cut as soon as I can. We have 2 copies of Tera Orb to find our Tera Pokemon. We have Glass Trumpet to accelerate energy to our bench. We've got Sparkling Crystal as our ace spec. This will allow our Eevees to attack with 1 less energy requirement. Very, very nice. They have a copy of Gravity Mountain, another card I'll be looking to cut, but we've got that there as our stadium. And then just a few other standard search and retrieval items that we've got here. So overall, actually a pretty strong default deck. There was not a ton of changes that we'll be needing to make, so it should be easy to upgrade as well. But let's hop into some games and see how it goes. My name is Jared, and I'll be your gameplay nurse today. Hopping into our first game with the Flareon EX deck. Since we are a bit of a turbo deck, I think we will want to go first into blind matchups whenever possible. So let's go ahead and select to do that now. We also have our, I believe the Eevee in this deck is the one that lets us evolve straight from the active, which is nice. We're going to have a mulligan here for our first turn, but that's not too big of a deal. Okay, this is great. We have our Fan Rotom, which is a card that we want to see on our first turn anyways. I'm not going to bench my Fezandipiti here, even though I have the option. I'm going first, so I can just kind of wait for now. There's no need to bench prematurely. Fan Rotom we want first because of their Fan Call ability. This ability, during our first turn only, will allow us to pick 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less from our deck and put them into our hand, which is awesome. They don't even have to go into our bench. So let's just start with Fan Call right off the rip. And yeah, we do have the boosted evolution Eevees, which is awesome. But we also have a Buddy-Buddy Poffin here, so I'm actually going to grab Noctowls as my primary for the Fan Call because you cannot grab these with Buddy-Buddy. And then let's just grab a Hoothoot as well. And we'll throw the Hoothoot on the bench. We'll grab our Buddy-Buddy and get 2 Eevees with that. Just kidding, I'm lying. We'll get 1 Hoothoot and 1 Eevee. And then we can use our Tera Orb. We could grab a second Eevee if we wanted. Be really nice if we had a energy or something here, but we don't, so not a big deal. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I want to do this turn. I think I'm going to use my Tera Orb and get a Tera Eevee down right here, because in order to use Noctowl's Jewel Seeker ability, you need to have a Tera Pokemon. And just in case we happen to get Iono'd, I want to make sure that's on the bench right away so that we can Ultra Ball for a Noctowl later if needed. I don't have a reason to play Area 0 this turn, so I think I'm just going to hold on to it for now and pass there. See what my opponent's cooking with. They've got Execute as their active, not a commonly seen card. Okay, they've got a Teal Mask Ogerpon, so it looks like they've got some kind of deck that is going to want to be accelerating grass energy. So that will be very interesting to play. Grass, weak to fire, so that could help us out with our Flareon attacks going into the game. Especially if we need to swing with Flareon's first attack, which only does 130 damage, If we're hitting a Teal Mask Ogerpon, that'll be 260 because of the ×2 weakness multiplier. So that will be really helpful for us. We can boss up an Ogerpon and just knock that out with our attack that's a little bit more beneficial to us. Jacq is a trainer card that lets you pick 2 evolution Pokemon, so stage 1 or stage 2 from your deck, and put them in your hand. So he's probably looking for evolving. They're probably looking for evolving this Execute. Oh, and then they're going to play Area 0, so guess I don't really need to worry about that. Area 0 lets you have 8 Pokemon on your bench if you have a Tera Pokemon in play. And we both do, so we both get access to that 8 bench slot. So now is where the fun begins. I get to use my Noctowls when you evolve a Hoothoot into a Noctowl while having a Tera Pokemon on your team. You can use Jewel Seeker, and Jewel Seeker is a very strong card search ability, which lets you grab 2 trainer cards. You can tell trainer cards are the ones that say trainer in the top right here. So we don't have any supporters, so we're definitely going to be looking to grab one of those. Which, this deck does not run Crispin. But we'll grab an Arven, I believe. And then we can also grab maybe an Earthen Vessel. Help get some energy rolling. We don't have any Glass Trumpets. We must have prized our Trumpet. That's really unfortunate. So we're not going to be able to swing this turn, it doesn't look like. But we do need these cards for sure. We'll probably get a Rescue Board with Arven so that we can retreat Fan Rotom. Let's see, what do we not? We don't really need Vaporeon right away. I think we could Earthen Vessel away the Vaporeon and feel okay with that. We'll grab a couple of cards here so that we can start loading up with energies. And then we can use our other Noctowl to activate Jewel Seeker once again. And with this go, I don't think I'll take a switch because I can just use a Rescue Board, and I can grab that with Arven later. I don't need an Ultra Ball. There's some things that I wish were in the deck that I could grab instead, but that's okay. Grab a Tera Orb. We'll grab a Gravity Mountain just in case we need to bump their stadium for whatever reason. I think we'll have to be good there. Now we can Arven and grab even more cards. Get a Nest Ball and a Rescue Board. Throw another Hoothoot on the bench. Have access to Jewel Seeker again later. And then we'll evolve this Eevee into Flareon. Attach Rescue Board here. We will attach a Fire Energy here. And there's no point in retreating yet because we're not... Oh, no, we could attach Sparkling Crystal. This will lower our attack cost by 1, so now we can retreat. I should have grabbed a boss's orders instead so I could boss up one of those guys. That would have been the smarter play. That's okay, we can now Burning Charge and get some energy onto this Eevee. Definitely should have grabbed a boss's orders instead of an Arven there. Okay, they're going to be able to get some good draw support with that Hassle. They can look at the top 8 cards of their deck and put 3 of them in their hand. Very helpful. And they're still continuing with the grass shenanigans. Okay, we've got an Arceus? How do you say that? Search your deck for up to 3. Okay, that does some things. We're going to continue to use their draw support / energy acceleration with the Teal Dance ability. Next turn, it would be awesome if we could take out one of these Ogerpons. We might be able to just Burning Charge them, like we had talked about at the start. Okay, they also have a Gravity Mountain in play. I might bump theirs with Area 0, just so I can get some more dudes on my bench. Okay, so they're going to be able to attack this turn, but I don't think it's going to be enough for a knockout. Just 150. That attack does 30 damage for each energy that's on both of these Pokemon. So I guess Sparkling Crystal counts as one, although it doesn't seem like it should. Oh, 30 plus 30. So it's 4 times 3 is 120, and then plus 30 from the base attack is what we got, the 150. So Sparkling Crystal does not count. Good. That's how it should be. I think I will Tera Orb here and grab another Flareon for the bench. We can attach. I'm going to bump Gravity Mountain out of here. And we can Defiance Fan this Flareon. We could bench Victini, not because of Victory Cheer, but because if this Area 0 goes down, I can then get rid of some of these Noctowls. And I don't actually, and then maybe Super Rod them back so that I can use Jewel Seeker again later in the game. And we'll attach Return here. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm still not going to bench Fez. Just don't want that liability on the board right now. And then we can Burning Charge again for knockout because of weakness. And we'll grab just a Lightning Energy because that's all that this Flareon needs in order to be ready to be an attacker. And that gets us 2 prize cards, which is very excellent. And we grabbed another Noctowl, so we'll be able to use Jewel Seeker again next turn, which is even better. So they're in a bit of trouble right now, because they don't have a way to attack or retreat this Pokemon. But I can see why they would prefer to push it forward versus an Ogerpon that they know is just going to get knocked out. Kind of between a rock and a hard place for them, unfortunately. But we can now Noctowl again for another Jewel Seeker. See if there's any more cards that we need. We could go grab a boss at this point. And then we can also grab a Super Rod in case that stadium gets bumped, and we can get some more Noctowls back into our deck. Which I could do right now. So this, I'm just going to do this kind of just to show it off. What you can do with the Area 0 and Stadium, so what I'm talking about here, is when this gets replaced, I have to drop back down to just 5 Pokemon, and I want to get my Noctowls discarded so that I can get them back, so that I can potentially use that combination again. Now I only run 3, this default deck only has 3 Hoothoots and 3 Noctowls, so I won't be able to get crazy with it, right? But I just want to show you the general principle and how discarding Pokemon can be a good thing for you. Now this will also depend on one of these getting knocked out, which likely will happen, maybe not though. So you can now Super Rod and get a Hoothoot and a Noctowl back into your deck. And that way you can reuse that Jewel Seeker ability later on. And I think we will just... we'll just take the knockout here with Carnelian. Give them a bit of a chance with that gift energy. I could have bossed up the Ogerpon, but, you know, give them that gift energy, give them that one more chance to kind of come back into this game. See, I'm curious to see what the goal of their deck kind of is. Although they may... Oh, no. So, okay, so there's their stage 2, Vileplume. Which, I don't know what this does. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve, look at the top 8 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards in any way you like. Okay, so that's pretty strong. So they're just accelerated into Teal Mask, and that's actually their attacker. Very interesting. Against a non-fire deck, that could potentially be a pretty cool way to play. Unfortunately for them, it's just much too easy for me to be doing these big knockouts and getting things just taken care of here. That's a cool art on that pincer. So see, with the 6 energy and then the 3 on there, that's 9 between us. 9 times 3, and then plus that base 30. So actually a pretty solid attacker, pretty strong. The weakness is really what's doing them in. But we'll be able to promote and just take the knockout here for the game. So GG's. Let's get into another one. Okay, so that first game with the default version of the deck went pretty well. We got the dub, but I think there are some changes that will make this deck a little bit stronger that we can do coming off of the winnings from just one game. So you can see in the top right here, I now have 400 trade credits, and I'd like to get to spending those on a couple upgrades. So first things first is I think this Victini is just not really doing much for us here. 10 extra damage isn't really going to hit those breakpoints that we need it to. So I'm going to get rid of Victini for now. And it looks like there is a Squawkabilly that comes in another one of the default decks that we can have for free at this point. So we'll just add him. It's not going to cost us a dime. And then for trainers, I think that we need some more Glass Trumpets. I think that for sure we can be comfortable getting rid of Mela. She's just unfortunately not powerful enough to make its way into the deck. And then because we have so much Noctowl Jewel Seeker support, we can drop one of our Arvens as well. And I'm going to do that in favor of a Crispin, which again, when you search for cards that you don't own and you need to buy them, you have to type in the card, then you have to go to filter and you have to switch it from, hold on, let me get you so you can actually see it. You have to switch show cards from owned over to all, and then hit C2 cards, and that will show you the cards that you don't own. And then you can click on Crispin, you can click on exchange, and then you can pay the cost. 100 trade tickets will get us 1 Crispin. Oh, we just want to hit confirm exchange because we're only going to have 1 copy for right now. Instead of Gravity Mountain, I would like to have a copy of Magma Basin, which I believe also comes in a different free deck, so we shouldn't have to buy it. Yep. We can add 1 copy of Magma Basin for free, which is excellent. And then let's get rid of one of these Buddy-Buddy Poffins because we have Fan Call, and instead increase our supply of Nest Balls. Since we've added Squawkabilly, we should add a way to find Squawkabilly. And while I understand the idea behind Vaporeon, because it uses the same energy that Jolteon and Flareon do, because it has a 2 retreat cost, I don't think it is as powerful as Jolteon. So I'm going to minus Flareon, see if we can afford 1 more Jolteon. Ooh, 600, that's pretty steep. Okay, we can't. So I think we can just get rid of the Vaporeon, stick with 1 Jolteon, and then maybe grab a different trainer card as well. Let's bump up our Glass Trumpet supply by 1. And we can buy that for 100 tickets. So I'm feeling pretty solid with this list now. And let's hop into game 2, and then we can make some more upgrades after that. At this point, we have also received some SIR Evolutions, alternate arts. So let me show you how to add those to our deck. You'll go into Edit Deck. You'll click on the card for this Jolteon, and then you'll click on this gray bar here, and it'll show you all the all the arts available for this card. So now we can switch over to this Jolteon. This also gives us a second copy of the card, which is something that we were trying to put into the deck earlier. So now we can have that in there, and then let's look. We'll take out, I think, 1 fire energy. I think we can go down to 4 pretty safely. So now we can have that second copy of Jolteon. Beautiful, beautiful. We can also add the SIR Flareon that we've gotten. And then we'll have to drop down. I only want 3 Flareon, so we'll have to drop down our regular arts down to 2. And now we're good. We'll have those available to us as we're playing. I want to try out going second here. I think that this deck has some donking capabilities. I want to see if we can hit one of those. So we'll hit no, go second. We have boosted evolution Eevees as well as Sparkling Crystal, which means we could get a turn 1 Flareon attack. Might not happen this game, but it is a possibility. See what our opponent is running. The pulling a Manaphy, so it could be a lot of different decks. Kind of depend on what they lay down first. If they lay something down at all, they pass. Okay. So, oh, good. Got a Hoothoot at least. And another Tera Orb here. We got our Flareon for the next turn. We can attach here. We got our Noctowl. So not a great start, but not the worst either. We at least have things that we can do next time. I think I would like to Tera Orb for a second Eevee here. Kind of get it on the bench. And then we'll just have to pass there. No point in benching Fezandipiti at this stage. I mean, you could argue that we might get Iono'd here. But even then, I still don't think it's worth taking up the bench space until we actually need it. Unless we had like Area 0 in play or something. But even then, it's like, it's just a liability kind of sitting there waiting to be knocked out. Our opponent continues to do nothing and pass. So that's very unfortunate for them, because now we're going to be able to Noctowl. And yep, I would like to use Jewel Seeker. And we'll just go ahead and end this game right here. All we need is some energy. And we're good to go. So we'll just grab our Crispin. Get our energy online. And then we'll just knock him out with our Flareon. Good game. Gonna play around going second again this time. This will be the final form of this deck for this video. There still are a few changes that I would like to make. First one is right here in front of us. This 50 health Hoothoot is no good. Not in a world where Dragapult is as popular as he is. So make sure you upgrade those to the 70 health Hoothoots as soon as you can. I just don't have the trade credits at this point to do that. And I'd like to get this video out to you guys versus grinding those up. So that would be my primary recommendation. Get those Hoothoots to the 70 health version as soon as possible. There's a couple other changes you could make. I think a Briar would go pretty hard in this deck. Could definitely see that being an inclusion. Other than that, just play around with it. Kind of increase and decrease the support cards, especially as you see fit. Make sure this deck is not like a solved list. It's not like Charizard where things are kind of set in stone a bit more. A lot of wiggle room here, a lot of opportunity for you to make this deck your own. So just make little tweaks, see what fits, see what doesn't, and just kind of have fun playing around with it. That would be my best advice to you. We've got our little setup here. We're not doing too shabby. We have Fan Call available to us. So we'll grab Hoothoot and 2 Noctowls. Get those ready to go. Would love to get an Ass Landing here, but unfortunately, we don't have a stadium available to us. Trying to decide what I want to Earthen Vessel away. Because I would like to use this Glass Trumpet for sure. I think it'll be the Fezandipiti. I might regret that, but for now, I think that's the best one. Then we can Not going to research this turn, but we can Earthen Vessel one of these energies away and just grab another one. And do I want to sit on Glass Trumpet and use it? Hopefully we can like discard another energy, or what? I could attach retreat, but I don't want to like have a Hoot up front, and then I could, you know, use both with the Glass Trumpet. But I think for now we'll just attach here, see if Fan Rotom maybe gets knocked out, and then we can Glass Trumpet if needed next turn. I don't see a point in bossing anything right now, since I can't attack really, so we'll wait. See, oh, so this is what you can use Assault Landing, but because there's no Stadium in play, it's going to do this. Womp womp. So we'll see what our opponent thinks. That might set them on the front foot a little bit. They might be thinking that we're too dumb to be able to read our cards after whipping an Assault Landing like that, so might be advantageous to us to play the fool. And yes, we are just playing. Ooh, they got a Skrilly. Wow, I'm really curious to see what they're cooking here. This is all kinds of interesting. Hit the Rotom. Crushing Pulse does what? Oh, gets rid of my item and tool cards. That's not something that I want to happen. I was holding on to that Glass Trumpet, and I guess I shouldn't have been. It is quite unfortunate, and he's just out of Ass Landing range. That also stinks. Okay, but anyway, the past is in the past. We gotta move on. We need to Jewel Seeker. We definitely need a Tera Orb. And we prized our Trumpet, or our Crystal. That stinks real bad. Okay. That's okay. We can move on. We'll be able to knock with Flareon, but we need a Crispin. So for sure, let's do that. We can Noctowl here as well. And let's look for... the Trumpet now. I wish we had some kind of way of bossing up that Rotom and using Crispin, but of course we can't do both, and that's okay. I think we'll grab an Arven in case we need it in the future. Ultra Ball wouldn't have been a bad idea either, but that's okay. So we can Tera Orb for a Flareon. Get that ready. Then we'll retreat this guy. Move up here. I only have one, now I have two in the discard. So I can Glass Trumpet to like a Noctowl or a potential Jolteon play later. We'll do it on the Fan Rotom because that's actually a possible attacker. And then we can Crispin. Okay. The water in our hand. Attach the lightning. Attach a fire. Nest Ball for... I think we'll just wait for now. Now we can Burning Charge. get our other Eevee the rest of the way set up for an attacker. And take a prize card. And that's not too bad. And we got a switch, so that's good for later. So next turn, we'll be looking to attach that water, boss up the Rotom, and swing away thusly. That will work out quite well for us. They've just got every basic meta in play. Okay, that's not going to stop us from doing anything. I could stop the Eevee from being evolved. I think it does, actually, but that's okay, because we're just going to boss around it anyways. And I don't have a way of searching for the evolution. We'll do this. We will boss and take a 2-prizer. And be happy with that. There's our crystal. Okay. Now we just... And they concede. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Good game. Okay, going first this game. I think overall that'll be healthier for this deck. Healthier. It'll be... What am I trying to say? More efficient, more effective. Just a better option for us. But going second, if we lose the coin flip and we end up going second, you can always look for that. Trying to get Flareon to use that accelerating energy attack right away. As far as this goes, though, we got Fan Call, which is always excellent. Got 2 Hoothoots and a Noctowl, I think, because we want to get that evolution primed and ready. Opponent started Lumineon, always hate to see that. It's unfortunate for them. I will go ahead and Earthen Vessel away an energy here. Grab some more energy. And then I think we'll just get that evolution going turn 1. Have our Tera Pokemon ready to go for our Noctowls. We'll be happy with that. We can pass there. Lumineon could be in quite a variety of decks, so we'll have to wait and see what our opponent's actually running with. You start Luminous Sign only works if Lumineon is played from your hand. So if you start with it in the active or on your bench, it doesn't trigger. If you get it with like a Nest Ball, then it's being played from the deck, not from your hand, so it doesn't trigger. So you have to be very specific with how you play Lumineon. Oh, we got a Hydreigon deck with a Bidoof, of course. What else would it be? What else would we have? We did not get an Arven, unfortunately. We might have to counter Iono here. We will see how it goes. Boy, they just kind of got everything they needed off that Iono, didn't they? That's nice. Got a Rotom and a Forest Seal Stone. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Meanwhile, we got, you know, Fezandipiti, third Hoothoot, Super Rod, Counter Catcher, just all the great stuff you want to see for your second turn. But that's okay. Get that Bidoof going so that we can't use any items. Okay, we just need to Iono into 1 energy. That's all I want. Just 1 energy. Maybe we'll top deck it. Sure. Okay. We bench Flareon. Not benching Fez. Then I don't need that other Hoothoot right now. I think just gonna have to Iono, believe in the heart of the cards. We're gonna get another energy here. We're gonna be able to Burning Charge and accelerate. There it is. Okay. It's a fire energy, so not the one I would have chosen, but I did not specify. so I cannot complain. But Burning Charge, set our benched Eevee up for success. Okay. Another fire energy. Got all four. All of my friends are here. Okay. If they're able to get their Pidgeot online this turn. Hydreigon is likely out of range of our 280 damage, but they already have 3 2-prizers ready for us, so we'll just have to boss his orders around the Hydreigon. So I don't think it's probably weak to grass, if I had to guess. I don't actually know. Probably grass. Because it's dark type, right? It's not dragon type. Yeah, weak to grass, so nothing that we're rolling with here. Interesting. So they're gonna have to stall out for a little bit longer. So getting a boss would be excellent. But as far as getting the things I've asked for, you know? Okay, they're super stalling. Ooh, I'll take a stadium too. If I can ask for things, I'll take a stadium. I'd rather have a boss. Jolteon. It's not, that wasn't one of the things that I asked for, actually. Okay. I think we research, honestly. We can, I feel okay evolving here. Nest Ball, I don't think we want anything from. No. We're good. Tera Orb for another Eevee. Oh, I should have used the Buddy-Buddy before I benched that, and then I could have failed it. Oh well. Do I want to use this? No, I'll save it in case we get like a Glass Trumpet or something. I'm okay attaching here, and then we'll just rip the research. Okay, we got the crystal, but boss is too little too late, unfortunately. We could crystal the Jolteon, or just attack with Flareon again. I think we do both. Oh. Yeah, because then we can attach here. That'll be fine. Last trumpet there. Do I want to Rescue Board retreat or just regular retreat? If they're going to be stalling, we'll probably save the Rescue Board. Push Flareon. We can Burning Charge again. Get our next Eevee set up. I only need the one. I'll have to Glass Trumpet that fire. Okay. Could really use a Noctowl. Oh, this will be good. I'm glad I saved the Rescue Board because I could retreat into the Jolteon and then boss up a 2-prizer. That'll be good. He's doing 130 to active and then 2 bench, so probably lose 2 prize cards if he's able to. They're able to get that going. Yeah, especially with counter gain and everything. Or they'll just mill the top 3 cards in my deck with the other one. Which, you know, it's painful, but Toad's Cruel will not stop any of our cards. So the way this one works is it stops cards from going from your discard into your hand, which all of ours, like our Super Rod, goes from our discard to our deck, or our Glass Trumpets go from our discard to our bench. None of our items or anything put cards from our discard to our hand. So we do not care about Toad's Cruel at all, which is a very nice position to be in. Interesting. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to Crashing Headbutt here, so we're going to lose 3 cards. Hopefully they're nothing good. But then we can boss up Pidgeot and kill that, and they're going to be having a tough time afterwards. So very happy with that option. Oh, maybe we will see. Yeah, we could see an Obsidian here. Okay. Bye, Hoots. We hardly knew ye. Okay. Arven. Don't want Arven. I'm not going to bench the Eevee. I don't need to give them more. 1/3. Oh, that... If I retreat Flareon, Flareon's in Obsidian range. That's going to give them... But I still think it might be worth it, unfortunately. Promote Jolteon, and then we'll kill the Pidgeot, and they're down to 2 cards. That's not a fun place for them to be either. If I Flashing Spear here, I could do... So it does 60? Yeah, so plus 90 is 150. So I could discard Flareon's energy and then get the knockout that way, right? 60 plus 90 is 150 times 2 is... This is weak to... Yeah. Yeah. And then I can still attack next turn. Yes. Okay, not bad. We really need a Glass Trumpet, but we can Arven for 1 next turn, just in case. But we have our other boss, so as long as they don't Iono us, okay, we're good. Good game. That was a fun one. That one had a lot of thinking involved. So you can see Flareon can hold its own against a lot of really top tier decks. You know, Hydreigon's it's a solid deck. Probably a lot more people would say that it's a better deck than Flareon, and you can still do a pretty good job of taking out these big victories. So it is a fun one to play. I don't think you're going to be in a bad way working with it, especially as you kind of grind your way up the ladder and start to work on building up your currencies. Yeah, it's a great deck to play with. Let's go into some closing thoughts. So this is the list that I kind of ended up with on our journey through upgrading the base Flareon EX deck. I think there's still a couple tweaks that could be made, so feel free to comment your own improvements down below. Let me know what you're doing differently with the deck. There could easily be a Briar slotted in somewhere, so look into your trainer cards and see maybe what could be taken out for a Briar. I think that could go a long way in this deck. And like I mentioned, make sure you swap for the 70 HP Hoothoots as soon as you can. Those other ones are just in Dragapult range and they're too much of a liability. Same with these Eevees, but that boosted evolution ability is really worth having. So just be mindful of how many of the 50 HP Eevees you have on your bench. Probably just bench them if you're going to be able to kind of get them into that active slot and get them evolved straight away. otherwise stick with the Eevee EX that are quite a bit more safe from that type of spread. But yeah, I think this is an amazing beginner deck to start out your journey with, or to just honestly start playing with right now, even if you've been with the game for quite a bit. I think I've been having some success with it, even on my main account, which is just a few games shy of Arceus League. I still can take quite a few consistent wins with this deck. So I think it's a very powerful deck, and going to be interesting to watch its progress going into the new meta, see if it has any kind of tournament runs. Be very curious to see. As always, happy to have you here. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and drop a comment down below. I answer all of the comments that I get, so if you have a question, if you have anything that you'd like to clarify or say, just know that you'll get a response. So feel free to leave that, drop a like. Any kind of interaction with the video goes a long way. I really appreciate you all being here. Thanks and have a good one.